The San Francisco 49ers are at a crossroads right now. Question about their long-term solution at quarterback. A lot of people questioning what they did in the draft. So I got my man Air Retro DK5 here with me today to discuss the draft, what Brock Purdy's contract is going to look like, and what the future holds for the 49ers. Let's get into it. My man, Air Retro DK5 is in the building today, bringing you all the 49ers news and views from his perspective. My guy, how you feeling out there? What's going on with?
What's going on?
Not much, man. To you, man. We're trying to figure out what's going on with these Niners. We're trying to get the lowdown, get the scoop.
Everybody want the scoop on them, huh? They say we done.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that. A lot of people saying that y'all going to finish fourth in the division.
Yeah,
a lot of people saying they didn't like y'all draft. It's the Rams division to lose. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of rumors out there. A lot of rumors out there.
Hey, go ahead, put your best down at FanDuel. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. That's a good way to start the episode. I like that. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But we talked, briefly a few weeks ago in regards to what the free agency period was like, and what you liked and what you didn't like. So, of course, the draft is over with, and we're going to talk about exactly what you liked and disliked about your particular draft class. The looming, elephant in the room about Brock Purdy in your quarterback situation. And, just your overall outlook on what you think the 49ers are going to look like in 2025. Because, again, like people have been saying, it's a crossroads. It's a reckoning happening with San Fran. A lot of people are believing in the media space. So, we got to get your insider knowledge to let us know, should we be hitting the panic button or should we just trust the process? Trust the process.
Trust the process.
There it is. You heard it first. There it
is.
No
panic over here. No panic over here. It's gonna be interesting to see though, because we got a lot of new cats that came in, and we got rid of a lot of cats that
you did. So, there's definitely an overhaul happening in San Fran for sure. It's gonna be a new look in 2025. So let's talk about a new look. Let's get into it. So what's the future gonna hold for the 49ers after the draft? So the draft y'all had a lot of picks. Had a lot of picks. I thought y'all might have packed some of those up and moved up and grabbed some, higher name talent, but y'all stuck to your guns and y'all do what y'all do as regards to the draft. So yeah, let's get into, what the draft class is going to be like. Let's do a quick draft evaluation. Like you said, y'all had a lot of picks. You had a lot of picks going on. So we're going to break it down in its entirety, and what the 2025 draft class look like. It's a lot of people being really highly critical of what y'all guys did, but I see some value here. And, and here's all the picks that it laid out for you, 1 through 7. And I think there's some things that, can definitely be a sneaky good for y'all, if you play your cards right. And it's one thing about the 49ers and the Broncos for me, at least from the coaching's perspective and how they do things, their philosophy. They tend to draft guys that more so fit their system. What they like to do versus the big names, right?
Right.
So, give me your overall perspective of the draft class, what you liked and what you didn't like through 1 through 7. And, we'll give the fans out there, the nuggets that they might be missing about what the 49ers going to look like.
I thought that, like you said, this draft was good to me. They wasn't picking like high price names like that. One thing I did notice, this was straight a welcome back Robert Salah draft. Because the first 5 picks was nothing but defense.
That's true. That's
so
true.
I'm sitting there like, dang, every pick they just picking defense. I'm like, all right, they got to welcome him back. They let him go ahead and get what he need. Because basically he just getting the same type of players that he had before. Like Michael Williams, he's good. He should start. Well, they pick him that high. He better start. He should start on the end. But Alfred Collins, he's sort of like Buckner. And then you got Nicholas Martin. They keep saying he like Dre Greenlaw. Then you got Upton Stout, which I wasn't a big fan because I don't like small cornerbacks, but
he's small stature.
He's small, but they say he kind of like built, he kind of cut, so he tough. And they gonna put him at that nickel back, just like they had Keywan Williams. When we had Keywan Williams. And then you got CJ West. They say that's the mode of what's the
Hell,
man that like Hargrave or
yeah,
DJ Jones or something like that.
yes, yes,
So it
yes.
seemed like Robert was just try and get his players that he was used to when he had them back in. Well, I forgot what year it was he was with us.
Like
We had so many
2017
coordinators.
time
Yeah,
frame. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
wasn't mad at it at all. And then we got to the offense. Jordan Watkins. I'm not too familiar with him, but they say he's nice, but I don't see him getting any playing time. Cal don't really give rookie wide receivers any clock, so
Well, unless your name is Ricky
unless,
Pearsall, but
unless you Pearsall, unless you number
right,
one Pearsall, but
right.
and he had to.
Yeah.
So, but I saw they was trying to they had brought in Gabe Davis. So that
Oh,
that
work
says
out.
to me, yeah, that says to me they still looking for a wide receiver.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody. So I like I said, I don't see Watkins doing too much. Now Jordan James, Kyle likes his running back, so
He does. I was going to say Joe James should play.
yeah, I
He
wouldn't be surprised if
should
he's a third running back
play.
behind
Yeah.
after McCaffrey and Garendo, and
Rendell.
then probably Jordan James.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think Jordan James definitely got talent. I think that y'all got him, pretty solid in picking the 5th round for my money. I definitely like that pick there. And he's a versatile back. He definitely is a scat backish type of back. I think he's like around 200 pounds, but he's fast, quick, elusive. Yeah. So you get him out in space on those third downs, then he can definitely do some damage out of the backfield. But so yeah, I can see the vision of what Kyle was doing with that particular weapon for sure. For sure. And then I guess you can say that, beyond that was some depth pieces, a third string quarterback in Curtis Rourke.
I know they was hyping him like he was nice. I ain't watching Indiana, so I don't have too much on him, but they said he was decent though.
Man, for a backup.
Yeah, for backup.
Yeah, for backup. Yeah, I definitely give you that. Yeah, he's not gonna shine like Brock Purdy shine being a 7th
Yeah,
round.
that's what I'm saying. They like maybe he found another Brock Purdy. I'm like,
I'm
relax.
not going that far. I'm not going that
Relax.
far, but yeah. I mean, again, I think Kyle is really a good type of person. He likes intelligent quarterbacks, and I think that's probably what he saw him. If nothing else, he might not have all the superlatives and athletic ability that the upper echelon quarterbacks have, but I'm sure he got it up top. Cerebrally, he's probably pretty good because you have to be to learn Kyle's system. There's no way in shape or form. And I think that's why Trey Lance, kind of flamed out. He wasn't used to that complicated offense.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Coming
think
from
that
North Dakota State.
absolutely. So I think he definitely picks up guys that definitely, have, complexity, playing complex offenses so they can pick up his real easy. Yeah. So
yeah, I like back to the Nicholas Martin draft pick. I was a little skeptical on that because he kind of small. He like 5'11" for for a linebacker, but and he coming off a knee injury, and I'm like, they say that was a reach, like 3rd round. So we gotta see. I still think it's gonna be between him and what's my man name? D Winters. D Winters stay injured too though. So
I know that's the only thing. I like D Winters. I
yeah,
thought he might
like D Winters. Yeah,
I do. That's my guy. I like how he played in the playoffs in his senior year of college. He definitely is he can play, but it's just a question mark of him being healthy because I think he's a little bit on the lighter side too. That's a thing that's working against him. He's a little bit on the lighter side. He hadn't put on no weight.
When he was out there last year, he was hitting, he was striking. He couldn't cover for nothing,
that's
but
all he did at
he
TCU.
was striking.
Yeah, that's all he did at TCU. So yeah, I definitely think that he's another smaller one. He's 5'11", 227.
Yeah,
like he really built more like a safety than a linebacker, but
exactly.
They got him playing that, and he's super fast. Like he's definitely fast. So I think that's it's gonna be interesting to see what Martin or Dean Winters.
Yeah, exactly. They gonna be fighting for that linebacker 2 spot.
Right, but I mean, what better place to learn from? You got Fred Warnerstead next to you.
Exactly.
So
Fred. Exactly.
I think they should be all right from a development standpoint. It doesn't matter who's going to play, who's healthy.
Exactly. Who's healthy? Exactly.
Yeah. So okay.
I also like the last pick in the draft, Junior Bergen. He led I think he led the NCAA in like punt returns.
Really?
Like punt return TDs. Yeah, he nice. He might be like a little fake. What's the dude from the Cowboys? Turban.
Oh yeah, okay. Kevontae Turban. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, the 49ers revamped their whole special teams. They brought in a new coach and then got rid of a bunch of like players that wasn't performing up to what they supposed to do on special teams. So I'm interested to see how it goes. Because our special teams was just trash the last couple of years. So
yeah, I know the feeling. Before we got out of this special teams coach, ours was trash too. So I get it.
Yeah, so I like the overhaul. So they said Junior could make the team. He more than likely going to be the punt returner. So we'll see what it is.
It ain't nothing wrong with getting the game-breaking punt return in the 7th round. Nothing wrong with that at all.
You need that.
And
it's going to be a lot more kick returns this year because didn't they pushed it back the yardage.
I don't know.
If
I don't
it's
know
a
what the
touchback,
final
I think
version
it goes to the
was. But
35
I knew they
now.
were tweaking it. But they also, they also got another meeting coming up with they're gonna talk about the tush push and a bunch of other rules, so they could change it again. So we're not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Until
Yeah.
the last meeting for the
Before
league
the
is
season
to
start.
happen. That'll finalize everything for the season. So we'll wait on that to give the official word. But yeah, so if they do change it, then yet again, it's gonna be more opportunities for him
Yeah,
to do work
exactly.
in the special teams area. So I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. Okay. Okay. So give me your overall grade. How you feel about just draft as an entirety? Give me a good letter grade for the 49ers in 2025.
That's a good question. I want to give him I say a C plus B sort of grade. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay. C plus B minus.
Yeah, C plus B minus. I give him that.
Okay.
It wasn't nothing write home about. But I did, like you said, I did see a lot of critics dogging the draft, but
Oh, they were
they
hot
was
and heavy
killing
on
it. Yeah, they was killing it.
they was giving y'all terrible draft grades. So y'all
Yeah,
had one of the
I
worst draft
saw it.
in the whole league. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They was like the worst draft of the whole league. I was like, what? I
the
was like,
whole
yo.
league, though? That's
I was
crazy.
like, do you know what we had on our roster? Like we literally, I swear they literally drafted about 4 or 5 starters in the first picks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would argue. I'm looking at 4 names here that are going to be interesting contributors. I think Michael Williams, Alfred
Yep.
Collins, CJ
Albert
West,
Collins.
and Jordan James are going to automatically contribute. Now, this is
Yeah,
whether or
yeah,
not
exactly.
Upton, Nick, and a few others was going to play any significant time. And to your point, Junior Bergman being a special teams player, that I wasn't familiar with his game, child to Shaq. So if he's going to be a punt returner, he's going to be a contributor as well. So yeah, I definitely see
Yeah.
4 to 5 starters off the rip because I'm gonna tell you right now, in my pre-draft coverage, Alfred Collins and CJ West were high on my list for internal D linemen being really good at the run, stopping the run.
Oh, for real? Yeah,
That,
that's what they
that,
say. They really good at the run.
and that was a really big time sore spot for y'all in the last couple of seasons.
Exactly.
Between injuries and people leaving. So if you got 2 young guys who's going to hold the interior part of the line now, you got Bolster and Michael and Williams on the end. If they play up to their potential,
yeah,
that front
exactly.
4 is going to be good. It just, good. Coach, you got Fred Ward in the middle. All you got to do or worry about is what your secondary is going to do as far as holding up on the back end. But yeah, I think I did what I was supposed to do. I think it wasn't sexy, but it was definitely a position of need that y'all filled. In a lot of areas.
Did you like Michael Williams is the second best rusher behind Abdul Carter?
No.
The edge rusher?
No, I'm not gonna say he's the second best.
Who you like?
I would argue, that's tough. It depends because you got to look at it from a scheme perspective. Because y'all play a 4-3 defense versus a 34. Because a lot of edge rushers, a lot of stand up, 250-pound edge rushers play more of a 34 style. Mike Howell is a 4-3 base guy. So, and I think him and Mike Green were probably the biggest 4-3 guys. When it comes down to scheme fits. So I would say that because I would say from an athleticism standpoint, I would say 34 guys were Abdul Carter and James Pierce, and
from Tennessee.
Yeah, and I would say, what's the kid? The first draft pick that the Falcons took. Those 2 edge rushers were 34 guys.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name, but
I'm spacing on his name at the moment, but I'll find it in a second. But yeah, but for personnel wise, I would say he's probably the second or third 4-3 guy. Hand in the dirt, traditional, edge type of player that can play 3 downs, good run defender as well as good pass rusher. So that blend, coming out of college is really good to have in that Robert Saleh style defense. Because yet again, you don't have a whole lot of help, from the 3 down linemen that you have in the 34. So you got to hold that well in the 4-3. So I think he's going to fit well in that system. I think y'all got the right guy for what Saleh likes to run for sure.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna coach him up. So
I definitely agree there.
He come out the gate ready to start.
I mean, and yet again, the attention is going to be on Bosa anyway, so he's going to get like one-on-ones regardless.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So he should eat if he gets his footing right early on. I think he'll be fine.
I saw some of the footage in mini camp. He was roughing them Bama's up. So, but they ain't got no pads on, but still, you could just see
just from a technique perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's done pretty well. I get that. Oh, yeah, Jalen Walker. That's the kid that got the hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah, the edge rushers and stand-up middle linebacker. Because I actually thought that which I might do is grab him because he can play linebacker and he can rush.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought y'all might target him, but I ended up going with Michael first. So yeah, so either way, I think it's a solid pick. It's a good scheme fit. That's why I kind of labeled what the 49ers did with their D lineman that they drafted, the scheme fits. Good solid run stopping D lineman and a good run stopping edge.
That's exactly what it was. Scheme every pick.
All right, so let's talk about your quarterback here.
My
Brock
guy.
Purdy, Mr. Irrelevance, right? Trying to make himself relevant and get paid in 2025. So Brock Purdy's in the last year of his deal. And there's talks and rumors and blaze about what's his, not necessarily about his ability to get a contract, is what's the number and how that's going to affect the franchise. So, from your perspective, do you believe that Brock Purdy is the future as the 49ers quarterback? And what do you feel about his contract? And what'll make you feel comfortable bringing him in as the franchise guy?
I definitely think Brock's the franchise. I mean, what else out there? They ain't got no choice. So
Well, they can call Aaron Rodgers.
no, nah, please don't. Please don't. Don't call Aaron. Don't call Kirk Cousins. Don't do none of that. Just
Okay.
go ahead and run with Brock Purdy. I like
Okay.
Brock Purdy. He is the future. Like,
Okay.
he's definitely the future. But you can see they at a standstill. This contract ain't done. And I know behind the scenes it's a lot of negotiation going on that ain't what you think it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it ain't the number that Brock won, and it ain't the number that the 49ers won. So it's getting it. What we in May, so we got a little bit of time, but you kind of want to get this done to shut the noise up. They gave Kittle his contract, so
that's another thing. They're paying everybody around him but him. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But remember, I said though they can, if they want to be petty, he could just play on this last year because he's still tied to the last year.
And then
But
they can play the franchise tag game, which will make him a amount of money, but it's no long term comfort.
Exactly, no long term, and then they're not gonna want to do that. They're gonna look at it. They're gonna look at it bad. So
Right.
like we said, I think we said last time, I want him a little under. I think Dak was Dak. No,
Dak
Dak was
60 this one.
no 60. I think it was a little bit above Hurts. I think
That's
Hurts was at
55.
like Hurts was at 55.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm thinking between that 50 and 55 range is where Brock should settle at.
Okay.
Is what I want him to settle at.
Okay. Which is, I mean, a lot of people have him in late 40s based upon.
If you get him in the late 40s, I'll take that. That's a discount.
It is for the team, but it may not be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying for the team. Yeah.
Everybody wants top dollar nowadays.
Yeah, but like I say, if you can get him in the 50s to 55, a 50, 51 wouldn't be bad either. I'm sure they could work it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Low 50s. Okay. And I mean, a lot of people don't use this model, and I don't understand why, but because it's definitely working for the Eagles, but they definitely tailor-made Jalen Hurts' contract to fit him under the cap for the first 45 years of his contract. They gave him a lot of guaranteed money up front, and his cap number was low. I mean, I'm gonna go read it off to you. His cap number in 2023 was $6 million. Then it went up to 13. Then it went up to 21 this year. Next year's only going to be 31. Like it doesn't get hefty until 2028, and that's the last year of guaranteed money he has. So
and they'll probably take that off the books and restructure it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
he's only gonna be 30 years old at that point. So yes, absolutely. So if they're smart, they would do something like that, where yes, you give him his money, you give him his guarantees. It's not an issue about revenue, because a lot of people question why they do contracts a certain way, because quite frankly, some teams don't have the cash on hand to deliver to the quarterback in escrow. Because what you have to do is you have to take their guaranteed money and put it in escrow, and it sits and it just get paid out over time. Some teams just don't have, if you're not Jerry Jones or one of these big name franchises that got a lot of cash on hand, it's hard to do those contracts. You have to do them a lot of base salary and less guaranteed money, which of course the players don't like. So that's another caveat to it. But again, 49ers, I ain't counting Ted York in the pockets, but I'm sure they got it.
They got it.
They're one of the more richer franchises in the league, I would like to believe. So yeah, I think they'll be all right as far as the guaranteed money is concerned. So that will help the team out and allow you to pay the weapons around him. Because I will say this is my personal opinion. Brock Purdy is a very savvy and intelligent quarterback, but he needs weapons around him to be successful. I think we all can agree to that. So if they do the contract in that manner, that'll be beneficial and keep those weapons around him, and y'all can be productive. Because if you don't, and he started having to let people go like Ayuk and Kittle and all these guys
they gone. I mean, we already got rid of Debo, so
exactly. So it's gonna be an issue. And you got to keep C-Mac healthy. So that's another thing. So Yeah, so I agree with you. I get if we can get him in there at the low 50s.
Yeah, low 50s. Give me a
With a
low
low
50.
cap number, for the first 3 or 4 years. To those contracts age out, like Kittle's contract and Fred Warner and all those contracts kind of age out. Trent Williams. Once those
Yeah,
contracts start aging out, then you can refresh the roster. Then you'll be in better hands.
I think Fred might be asking for a contract soon as well. So
And what you gonna say? Best linebacker in the league. What you gonna take?
exactly, you gotta go ahead, you gotta go ahead and pay up, dog.
Exactly. Just go and
You
put
gotta
up
go
the
ahead
dough.
and pay up.
Go and
So
put in
yeah,
the dough.
I'm ready to see what Brock Purdy can do. I'm giving him I guess that was his sophomore slump last year, I'd say.
Yeah,
Even though he put up numbers, but the
he
team
did,
was
but
just
it wasn't like the first 2 years, and
yeah,
the team was hurt on top
yeah,
of that. Yeah, so
yeah.
so we'll give him a mulligan on the last season, and a lot of the factors that was out of his control, but yeah, well, hopefully he can get his money and get bounce back, and then y'all can be successful because seeing the 49ers in the fourth place slot in the AFC West, I mean NFC West, I'm not used to, so that got to change. That's got to
That joint
change.
was nasty. I couldn't believe us.
It was nasty.
I was like,
Y'all
how we in
play
the
high the
fourth
draft
place?
like that. I'm not used to that.
Man,
So
I
yeah,
was
y'all
like,
gotta get back to y'all glory days. I think the league is better when certain teams
yeah,
are good. So yeah, I think
exactly.
that when they got the Cardinals rated higher than y'all, we got issues.
Slam, I seen that, and then I saw Colin Cowherd talking about uh fourth place Niners, Cardinals are better, they so much better. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like,
On the
okay.
Seahawks too. Now Seahawks did their thing in the draft as well. It's just a matter of what Sam Darnold going to do.
I'm about to say, do you trust Sam Donald?
I'm skeptical because him
Okay.
away from Kevin O'Connell is a wait and see.
Ooh, yeah, exactly.
It's a wait and
Exactly.
see because Kevin
Who they
O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer.
who's their OC?
Oh, I was just talking about him the other day. He's good. I just can't remember his name
Because I
off
know they
the top
got
of my
rid of
head.
the college dude they got rid of
They
after 1
did.
year,
They
and they
did.
brought in somebody else.
Yeah, the guy from the Ravens, the D coordinator, McDonald brought him over.
Yeah, he brought him over.
Yeah, I gotta look it up real quick, but yeah, let's talk about your outlook, and I'll get the name for you,
Okay.
but yeah, so yeah, but don't see is good. He's just not Kevin O'Connell. I'm gonna put it like that.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connor is the QB whisperer.
It is that is him and Sean McVay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean McVay,
Something
absolutely.
about him.
Indeed. Okay. So let's give a quick way too early predictions for you for the season. We hadn't, OTAs are gonna start up here in a few weeks. The schedule comes out tomorrow or today at that run when this video drops coming out today. So give me your, I guess you can say season outlook and your predictions of who do you feel like the season's gonna look like once everything is set in stone and all the dust settles.
Oh, we taking the division. That's an automatic.
Okay.
We ain't scared of the Rams. I want to make sure we punish the Rams. Devontae Adams was talking all that trash, talking about they lowballed him on a contract or something. Some quote he had. I was like, all right, dude, whatever. Just say you didn't want to come, so you wanted to go to LA. That's cool. We
Yeah,
don't care. But
that's true. That's true.
we're gonna be at least what 11. I say 11-6.
7-6.
Yeah, 11-6.
Yeah, I'll play the 4-play schedule, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Y'all not
Schedule.
playing this tough schedule. So
I'm waiting. Once the schedule comes out, I need to see how it aligns to see, you know what I'm
right.
saying, where
Y'all
we at.
play
Yeah, like if we play certain teams, but the schedule looking like we could take it like that. I think it's that home schedule we got is looking pretty nice. And then on the road, the game's not too bad either. So it ain't a rack of tough games like we've been having the last couple years.
Right.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
like the way we look.
I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all have the 5th most miles traveled according to the
Yeah, I did
NFL.
see that today. That's
Yeah,
always though. They
I
always
know.
top
Yeah,
5.
the coastal teams always seem to get it bad.
Yeah, Seattle and
Yeah,
49ers
us,
always got
the
them
Rams,
joints.
Seattle,
Yep.
Jacksonville, y'all, Atlanta. Yeah, we
Every
all
year.
get
Every
it every
year
year.
it's the same.
And do y'all got an international game this year? Did I see that?
Nah, we don't have one this year.
Oh, yeah,
Don't get me.
okay, good.
Yeah.
You do. It's in Brazil, but still.
Oh yeah. Y'all got the first game, don't y'all?
First game of the
Yeah.
season in Brazil. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So
I think it's gonna be a
yeah.
Friday game, so on YouTube.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
Friday.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Clint Kubiak is the OC from
Clint Kubiak, another Kubiak.
yeah, Clint Kubiak is the OC from Seattle. So yeah, he's gonna be in good hands, but again, it's not Kevin O'Connell's system. And you don't have Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson and
Oh,
Addison,
yeah.
that line. So we're gonna see.
That's a good thing because we got the other Kubiak as the offensive coordinator on our team. You know,
Well,
Kubiak spread.
In name only, because Cal called the plays, but
yeah, Cal called the plays, but that's just interesting that, and they already said 49ers playing Seahawks week 1 in Seattle. So that's gonna be
Chris Kubiak. Let's do it then.
Exactly. That's gonna be good week 1. I like that.
And I'm low key kind of giddy about what Rob Saleh's going to do back in San Fran. I'm kind of
I know.
So I want to see if he can get back to his defensive dominating ways. I'm waiting to see that.
That's why I said this was his draft. He's like, let me get my players and let me see what I can do.
Okay, and let me go to work. I like it. Yeah. I like it. Okay.
So yeah, we taking the division, man. I don't want to hear nothing else from no other Rams fan, Seahawks fan, Cardinals fan. It's a division. We got it.
Okay, y'all heard it here first. So the 49ers taking the division until proven otherwise. All right.
Exactly. We bouncing back.
That's it. After 1 year of downtime, they bouncing back. Okay. Not bad at all. So you got any closing thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nah, I'm just, ready for season to come around. It's coming around quick. We already at almost the end of May.
Middle of May. We're in the middle of May. So it's that schedule comes out today. And we're gonna see who we play, how it lines up, and what's the season gonna hold, and how many games we're gonna go to.
Yeah, exactly. Look, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm trying to see. Already got a couple in my head. I'm like, all right, I definitely they play the Giants, so I'm like, that's a drive up.
Yeah,
I can definitely go to that one. That's automatic.
Right.
So I'm looking at a couple more I might have to hit, but I'm definitely gonna hit that Giants game for sure.
Yeah, we play the NFC East this year, but all the close teams are playing. We play at home though. Commanders and the Giants at home. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks. Dallas is in Dallas, so that's So
what about Philly? Y'all go to Philly?
I think Philly is Philly. I think that's the only one that's on the East Coast. So so that's the only one. But I think it's gonna be late though, so it's gonna be cold. So
Look, I'm like you. Don't put me in the cold. I ain't sitting in that cold.
No, not at all.
I did it before like 1 or 2 times. I was like, never again.
I went out to Cali in December and it was 80 degrees. So no.
Oh, you was loving life.
Loving life, absolutely.
You didn't even want to come back. You like, nah, this weather's too good.
I did. The only thing was Christmas time. It was Christmas time. That's it.
Man.
That is it. I had a blast. I can't wait to go back. But sure, man. As you know, my guy Air Retro DK5 on Instagram and Twitter. You can find him there. I will drop that link in the description if you're looking for him. So you want to holler at him about 49ers business. And as always, if you're looking for the podcast information, we are here. It's live and direct here on all platforms. So Lockdown Defense Sports on most, and Lockdown Defense itself on Twitter. LockdownDefenseSports@gmail.com. Please hit that subscribe button and let us know that you're out there and you're definitely loving the content here. Let the YouTube algorithms know we're doing big work out here. And as always, man, we are here each and every day at 3 p.m. Dropping content Monday through Friday. But that is Air Richard DK5. I'm Coach Defense. Until tomorrow, we'll see you when we see you. Step up and lock it down.